joining us now here on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline as he'll call the Eagles and Cowboys for the national Compass Media feed. And, the first time these two teams played 27-20, and Danny White will call the game for Compass Media nationally as the Eagles and Cowboys get ready to face off again. So let's continue to break this game down with former Cowboy quarterback Danny White here on the Sports Bash. We'll call the game for Compass Media. Danny, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, thanks. I'm good. Doing well.
Well, I know you get to see this team each and every week, and I got to ask you, in watching them over the last 4 weeks, they had that 2-game losing streak. They had the bad loss at Tennessee. What has changed about this team over the last 4 weeks? Because it took a sharp turn all of a sudden.
Well, yeah, it really did, and I think it's been mainly just the fact that the defense is just, man, they've just been playing lights out, and their sack ratio has gone up. They've been putting pressure on the quarterback. I mean, everybody on the planet saw what they did to Drew Brees, and nobody has been able to do that to Drew Brees. And I even said before the game, I said the only way the Cowboys have any chance, at winning this game, at beating the Saints, is to find a way to do what no other defensive coordinator has done, and that is to get Drew Brees confused or kind of out of his rhythm. And I said, if anybody can do it, I think that Rod Marinelli can do it, and he did it. That's exactly what happened. And Drew was not Drew. I mean, he was so out of sync with his system, his team, his receivers, and that's kind of what I think has been the key to it. Now, it takes a lot of other things. It takes, Dak not turning the ball over. Now, he hasn't been, lighting it up offensively. The team hasn't been scoring a lot of points. They're not in the top, 5 in scoring, anything like that. They're not outscoring anybody. In fact, they're at the bottom in terms of scoring. In fact, they're 24th and 17th in the last 3 games, even though they've been on a roll.
Right.
They're still 17th in scoring points. So clearly, it's their defense, which is second in the league, 18.6 and 6th in the last 3 weeks. So it's been their defense, and it's the continued development of Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith continuing to get healthier and healthier. And then, along with that, those guys up front, even though they've had a lot of injuries, Marinelli is just a magician. He's I don't know what he does or how he does it, but he juggles those guys around in and out, keeps them fresh, and they've had great success against everybody they've played.
Yeah, well, Danny, I mean, he did a great job with guys who were lesser known. They've got some names on that defense now that people are starting to find out about.
Well, they've got names because he's made them names. Yeah, you're right. Who would have thought? I don't think anybody predicted that Van Der Esch would put up the numbers that he's put up. Now, it's taken an injury to Sean Lee, and it's taken, he's been forced in there, and sometimes that's what it takes. And he has responded to the opportunity that he's gotten, and that's what's been fun to watch. It's been so much fun, and then that has inspired everybody else. You look at DeMarcus Lawrence, and if you just watch him in a game, the stats don't show what he does, but the guy never quits. He's got a motor that's unbelievable, and part of it is because Marinelli keeps him fresh. And Tyrone Crawford, those two guys just go and go and go and go. And you see DeMarcus Lawrence making plays clear over on the left sideline, and so anyway, they got about 6 guys out there going sideline to sideline in the box. And now, with Richard's new philosophy on defense, with the corners playing press, physical, man-to-man coverage, the match is perfect. the match is perfect because you got the guys hustling up front, not letting anybody come through the line of scrimmage. That's a problem when you're playing man-to-man in the secondary. You break through that initial line of scrimmage, there's nobody there to make a tackle, and you end up giving up big plays. Well, they haven't done that, and so the combination of the two has been perfect.
We're talking with former Cowboys quarterback. He's now the color analyst on the Compass Media Network's broadcast of Cowboys games. Danny White here on the Sports Bash Live 97.3 ESPN on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. These two teams just played 4 weeks ago to start that streak for the Cowboys. The Eagles have now won 2 straight, but they don't look like the same team. When you watch them play 4 weeks ago, what surprised you about what they might be lacking?
Well, I think a running game more than anything. I think it's surprising. The Eagles have always, when they've been really good, had great teams, they've had a great running game. And last year was a little bit of an exception. Carson Wentz came in, and again, I think he surprised everybody and had just a phenomenal year. And they're playing better since he's back after missing those first 2 games. But they're still not offensively hitting on all cylinders, and they've had some injuries defensively that have hurt them, and it's just been a lot of things have to happen right for you to go on a run and to win a world championship, and for the Eagles they happened at the perfect time last year, and that's kind of what has to happen. It had to happen to them this year. So I just thought then, and I still think that they're just not all there. They don't have the running game to support. You can kind of pin your ears back a little bit and rush Carson, and yet he's still, in spite of the lack of a great running game, they're still he's still putting up good numbers, and then that's. They're only averaging, 4.2 yards a carry, which, is not lights out, but yet he's, got a passer rating.
Well, they just started to run the ball. You opened up, Danny, by saying about lack of running. They just started to run the ball the last couple of weeks, where they finally gave this kid Adams a chance, and that's worked out for them. They've won, but they gave him the ball 25 times last week. That's a big difference than giving a guy the ball 8 times.
And that's going to be the key Sunday. That's going to absolutely be the key Sunday. If he can carry the ball 25 times and average 4.5 yards a carry, they'll win the game, in my opinion, because Carson is probably not going to turn the ball over, and he's going to he's going to make some plays, and that's the one thing I think that the Eagles have that the Cowboys don't have is a real playmaker at quarterback. And that's their advantage. So if they can keep that running game going,
right,
which is a big if. It's a big if against this Cowboys defense. But if they can, I think that's going to be the key to the Eagles having a chance to win this game.
You'll hear it right here on 97.3 ESPN and Compass Media Network's Danny White has been a part of their broadcast since 2011 on America's Game. And, of course, the Cowboys and Eagles renew their rivalry, which Danny was a big part of, right here on 97.3 ESPN. Danny, we appreciate a couple minutes.
You're welcome. Anytime.